What is up, boys? Once again, welcome back to the Unfiltered Journey. All right, now in this episode, I specifically want to talk about one topic, which is a topic centralized around ego. All right, because here's a quick story. When I was young, I used to look up to people within the United States, right? You would watch these love stories, love movies from people, actors in Hollywood, little love stories, the stories that was just so beautiful, right? And you would put people within first world countries at like a pedestal. And then you moved here, all of a sudden it's like an 180-degree shift between reality show and reality within the States, right? Everything is complete 180 shift in terms of the people. By economy, it's as what I've seen within the movie. But jokes aside, when I moved here, I was like, okay, I was being disrespectful by people because of my accent. I was disrespectful because of the way I talk, the way I walk, because I used to be a little bit fat, and the way I walk, I used to walk like a big guy, because that's just how people in Asian countries like walk, I guess. But then came here, everything, people just started to disrespect me, like upperclassmen. I tried to talk to people within. I tr- I try to talk to people, network with the cool guys, quote unquote. But then they started to, laugh at me, and I was like, okay, sweet. I will roll up my sleeves, just as I have right now. I'll take matters to my own hands. Which then put my head down. 3 years, not 3 years, but 6 months, 1 year go by, 2 year pass by, and we are at our 3 year mark since I've moved to the state. Actually, fourth year mark since it's 2025. And all of a sudden, when you grow to a certain percentage, you do the stuff which people find hard to do, but you push through it anyways. Days where you do not even feel like recording, days where you just came back from the gym and you do not feel like recording, but you know that that is quote unquote essential for your business to grow, but you do it anyways, right? There's a good quote I've read somewhere: the day ends when a to-do list ends, not when you feel tired, not. And when you do the hard work, when especially quote unquote nobody sees the hard work that you put in, but deep down you know you've put in the hard work despite of how much prior work during the day that you have done, the late night works that nobody sees, the hunter gathering work, literally 3 a.m. wake up, deep work for 4 hours, evening more deep work for 2 hours, the deep work that nobody sees, you know that you have put it down. It grows to a certain point where you would actually think that you're better than anybody else. Okay, I don't know that if you face that certain issue, but that certainly, that thing certainly came out for me, right? I was alone in school. I would wear these headphones, as you can see right here. I will always put in. I would always listen to Hormozy. I would always listen to Serge Guattari. I would always listen to those big people in the SaaS space, maybe in the AI space. Listen to how they venture into the AI space. 21 VC or 20 VC talk about their different venture capital, how they choose to invest, what markets are booming, all of those different stuff. And I would listen to those. I was like, oh wow, this is such amazing. But then I look around, all of just normal people, not taking advantage of opportunities. And I was like, dude, come on. Don't you know that you are on a schooling system that they have put you through 12 years prior for a job that can easily be replaced by AI? Are you aware of that? How are you guys so average that walk around with your friends dabbing up people? And there is nothing wrong with dabbing up people, but you have to be aware of the consequences of your job being replaced. It's like they're talking about the Friday nights, the games, all of those like girls. I'm like, cool, you do what you want. That is why I have these earphones on, because there's a saying, what you hear most programs you the most. So you gotta take care, you gotta block out all of the stuff, filter all of the stuff that is going into your ear, right? So that is what I did, hence the existence of these earphones every single time. All right. Sometimes you hear all this stuff, you know that you are so ahead of people that you start to develop this huge ego that you think you can crush the world. Now, there are good ways you can channel that ego. For example, if you have such a big ego, wake up every single day at 3 a.m., dedicated, do the hard work. At least that is what I did, okay? I can only speak from my experience because my intentions are always pure as always. Funnel that ego into something that will propel you forward so that in your future, your life that you see within your future fulfills your current ego. What you do not want to do And this is a lesson I had to remind myself, and hopefully you guys can benefit from this, is that you do not want to think that you're always better than everybody else. Because here's the thing, if you deep down you think that you are really better than anybody else, you have such like huge delusional ego, it leads you to what? For me, it leads me to not following up to leads. It leads me to judging all the leads that is on a sales call. It leads me to knowing that, hey, yesterday's success equals to today's success, when in reality, success is rented every single day. Yesterday has 24 hours. On the 12-hour mark, you produce a record-producing record. That's good. That excitement only lasts for another 12 hours. Then that 24-hour timer is up. The next 24-hour timer starts again. You gotta go hunting again. You start from zero, yes, today. The success from yesterday, yes, you can borrow the resources that you've got from the hunt of yesterday. However, today, you essentially start from zero, okay? Ego. When you have your ego, it's like, speaking of ego, when you are a person, speaking of ego, I found out that when you are actually an egotistical person in a way, there's a saying, what your mind believes you are, what you're gonna find most in life. For example, do not think about a pink elephant. You just thought about a pink elephant. If you paid attention to the car, the color of your car that you just bought, for example, a red Tesla, all of the sudden on the road, you're just gonna notice a ton of red Tesla. The same stuff applies here. If you are actually, you have the self-thought that you're better than anybody else, that is a form of ego. Then in society, what you're gonna look for is just people who are egotistical. And who wants to talk to an egotistical person? Probably nobody, right? So in the sales calls, it's like there's one lead. And the reason why I want to tell you guys this story is because every single people that hops on the sales calls, I know for 100% guarantee that in the future they are just going to buy. They are going to buy because of the conversation they have had 1 week ago, 1 month ago, or even 6 months ago. They remember the conversation. ShennJhay did not try to hard sell him, but instead he chose to be a doctor, to give him free value, right? Give him advice for free. And later down the line, once they achieve success, they will remember, oh wow, throughout this past 6 months, the most pivotal moment that I've had was that conversation with ShennJhay. Now let me repay that favor, right? What goes around comes around. But there's always one type of prospect that I just couldn't sell, which is the egotistical prospect, okay? Now, I would say I'm pretty good at objection handling, but I couldn't figure out a way in terms of how to handle egotistical prospects. It's like they know that you have the result to prove it out. And you also know you have the result, you have the testimonials, you have the case studies, you have the systems. They also know that. But somehow those egotistical prospects think that they can solve it all themselves, right? They think that they're part of the top 1%. Well, that thought is good. You always want to invest in people that are always one step ahead of you, right? 3 steps ahead of you, because those people that are 3 steps ahead of you can give you better advice than people who are 10 steps ahead of you, right? So it is the same concept, but egotistical person, those are the hardest leads to sell, right? So knowing that egotistical prospects are the hardest leads to sell, switch your marketing around to attract people, break down people's belief. For example, this video that I film right now, yes, it is an unfiltered journey. It is a way for me to document how to deal with maybe ego, learn from your ego, not to channel ego throughout the wrong ways. But it's also, in a way, if you guys watch this, it is also a way that I could break down you guys' belief that, hey, do not be so egotistical. Be willing to invest, right? My mission with Scaling Info, again, is to make every single info product life-changing. And to make every single info product life-changing, we really tracked each and every success rate for our creators, right? So far, I've partnered up with 3 creators. The first creator, after a week, he flopped me because I didn't know what I was doing, all right? Do I have experience? Yes, I do, from running my real estate agency, but corporate people are much different from the creator people, right? So lost that client, got got a little bit depressed, and then those two clients, we generated amazing results. Back in July 2024, the first creator launched his high ticket mentorship. The first week, the first month, he did like 40K off of launching his high ticket mentorship. And the next creator, he did like 300K selling his digital trading bot, which was insane, right? So if you calculate the three, I would say two will succeed, one failed because he didn't want to, I didn't know what I was doing. So the success rate as of me right now is 67%, right? 100 divided by 3 is like what, 33 point something percent, times 2, 67, around that range. So the success rate for me, that me generating my clients, is 67%. And I also encourage you guys to also document the success rate between your creators and your coaches. Okay, right now we are still figuring out a way in terms of how the systems want people put in this, how successful are they. The ZAP goes in, run through this AI system, and then spits out the report. We're still working on that, but it's quite a process. But please document the success story of your creators, right? I just truly love the info product industry. Ever since I got to the States, a guru sold me on the dream. I bought. I was pretty much sold the dream, and he did not deliver on the results. So I'm here to change that. I'm here to change the info product industry, to make every single info product life-changing, so that when you invest in the creator that I partner up with, you, the audience, will know that, okay, if ShennJhay backs up this creator's brand, I can know that this creator is a great creator, and I can know that ShennJhay and this creator will change my life as long as I'm willing to put in the work. So with that being said, throw your ego aside. Let's embrace the beauty of letting go and learn from everything and anything. Right? So with that being said, love y'all. This is it for the Unfiltered Journey. This is a wrap for episode number 28, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.